Thank you.
The service to Pat is about to begin very shortly, so can you just check your mobile phones to make sure they're either on silent or off, please? Thank you.
We've gathered together today to acknowledge the passing of Mrs. Patricia Diane Smith. We've gathered to pay our respects to her, to acknowledge and support Trisha's family in their grief and loss, but also to celebrate and pay tribute to her life. I'd like to welcome you all to Mackay Chapel at Mackay Family Funerals. My name is Gabe and I'm your celebrant for this service today. I'd like to welcome you all. Thank you so much for coming together to share in this service, to show your love and support for this family and for each other in this time of loss. I'd like to welcome those who are not in our chapel but are joining us via live stream, all those friends and family who for any reason could not be here today. We welcome you, in particular those who are watching in from the UK. We welcome you. And we hope that by watching online, you're brought comfort from wherever you're watching. Our thoughts are with you today. I would like to acknowledge on behalf of the family with the deepest gratitude the staff of Chamberlain Gardens at Wyoming, for their love and support and the care that they administered to Patricia, and for not only Patricia but all the family during her time with them. Thank you so much. During the 85 years of Trisha's life, she'd been all those things that we play from beginning to end in our lifetime. She'd been a daughter and a sister, a granddaughter, a niece, a cousin. She'd been a loving wife to Graham, devoted and loving mum to their two children, Stephen and Katrina. She'd been an adoring nana to her three grandchildren and her beautiful great-granddaughter. Trisha's life spanned distance from Manchester in the UK to Australia. She enjoyed being part of her community, her family, her local area, and loved her many friends. And though this is a solemn occasion as we mark the passing of this lady from your lives, it's also an occasion where we have the opportunity to celebrate and pay tribute to her for the fact that she was here for this time, that she loved you and she made memories with you, and those are yours to keep. And so, in making this celebration of her life, we will pay tributes, and to begin our tributes, I would like to invite Stephen.
People have told me that the passing of a parent is a natural progression of life. Now that I have experienced my mum's loss, honestly, that doesn't make it any easier. How do you summarise the life of someone who has been the centre of your family for over 50 years in just a few minutes? Well, Mum was wonderful to Katrina and me. She was always there to talk and support us in all our endeavours. No matter how small or large, she was cheering us on. Born in 1937 to Alma and Frank, Mum's junior years growing up were spent during the war. After the war, with limited work prospects, Frank and Alma packed up their family with baby sister Rosalind and headed to Australia. On the journey, Alma and Frank met soon-to-be lifelong friends-to-be May and Jack Brown and their children. Arriving in Australia, Mum attended North Sydney High, where she met lifelong friends Dawn and Eva, the three musketeers. Unfortunately, Mum lost Dawn too soon, but still got to see her godchildren, Rob and Nicole, marry and start their own families. On matriculating high school, she enrolled to learn to teach at Bathurst Teachers College. Since she was a school teacher for as long as I can remember, I assume she passed with flying colours. She taught at Narrowena and Mona Vale primary schools as a young teacher. Over this time, she became good friends with Margaret Goldman and Anne Hood, who became Ibbotson. In January 1960, Mum married Dad and became a smith. The next few years were busy. They built a house and went off to trample around Europe. On their return in 1968, the stork brought me and 2 years later, Katrina. Her sister Rosalind was an integral part of her life. We shared birthday parties and Christmas lunches with her and her children, Andrew and Annalisa. After Katrina and I started school, Mum returned to teaching, culminating in an extended stay at North Curl Public School. Many long-term friendships were established, particularly with Ellen Castle, and many more. After retiring, it was rewarding for her that so many ex-students remembered her. She was often stopped in the street or while shopping by now grown-up ex-students to be asked if she remembered them. In 1999, she saw Katrina marry a wonderful man, Nigel, or Nige as he prefers. She made me say that. Katrina and Nige then made her a devoted nana to her 3 grandchildren, Jessica, Lachlan and Liam. She loves spending time with her grandkids and watching them grow from babies into teenagers. 2020 has a lot of negative memories for most people, but Mum became a great-grandmother in July 2020 when Jessica had her daughter Octavia. Unfortunately, due to COVID, she didn't get to spend as much time with Tavi as she would have liked. In 2022, she was thrilled when I married Lana, and I got no children to report. Mum enjoyed many different activities, travelling being one of her favourites. Over the years, she travelled with my dad, family and friends, sometimes even going alone. She had many overseas holidays, catching up with family and friends, and enjoying holidays closer to home in Australia or New Zealand. Mum was an avid reader, enjoying the quiet time while she sat and read a good book. She read through all the large print books at the War Veterans Library, and most of those from the Northern Beaches Library. She also loved singing, so she joined a local choir that performed around Sydney. I remember many balmy summer's eves up at Cardinal Creddy's Chapel listening to the Messiah. I also remember her stint as treasurer, tangling with Carlos, the conductor, because he only wanted a philharmonic-sized orchestra on the budget of the local choir. Dancing was another love of Mum's, and seeing her dancing around the house at parties wasn't unusual. She took part in line dancing, which is enjoyable and great exercise. Mum spent later years passing the days at Bridge Club, 3 times a week plus the occasional game on the weekend. Some might say that was an obsession. Here she met, socialised and competed in competitions, enjoying a laugh while she played. I was lucky to visit on one of her last days when she was awake. She taught while we watched Australian Idol. Mum, Katrina and I agreed that the cowboy, country singer and the girl who went last were the best and should be selected for the next stage. Alas, they were not. It was a moment I won't forget. To all those family and friends whom I haven't mentioned by name, I thank you all for being part of her life. Mum, have a safe journey. I miss you already. And one thing before you go, Manly is winning the comp. Thank you.
All the important notes. That was lovely. Thank you so much, Stephen. Can I please now invite Lachlan with Jessica and Liam to come up?
Such wonderful memories of Nana. The Nana we all used to know. We kept her too long, and they're waiting. The angels have said you can go. Bright golden gates that are shining, full of family to bid you hello. So blow us a kiss as you're leaving. Our sadness we will try not to show. Such wonderful memories of you, Nana. We all have our favourites, you see. As you enter those gates, you'll be thinking, they're all there, thinking of me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now we will just take a moment to sit back and enjoy some more memories, and this time it will be her life story in photographs to music.
Is it a kind of dream floating out on the tide, following the river of death downstream? Or is it a dream? There's a fog along the horizon, a strange glow in the sky, and nobody seems to know where you go, and what does it mean? Oh, is it a dream? Bright eyes burning like fire, bright eyes, how can you close and fail? How can the light that burns so brightly suddenly burn so pale? Bright eyes. Is it a kind of shadow reaching into the night, wandering over the hills unseen? Or is it a dream? There's a high wind in the trees, a cold sound in the air, and nobody ever knows when you go and where do you start. Oh, into the dark. Bright eyes burning like fire, bright eyes, how can you close and fail? How can the light that burns so brightly suddenly burn so pale? Bright eyes, bright eyes, burning like fire, bright eyes, how can you close and fail? How can the light that burns so brightly suddenly burn so pale? Bright eyes. Is it a kind of dream floating out on the tide, fog along the horizon, a strange glow in the sky, and nobody seems to know where you go, and what does it mean? Oh, is it a dream? Bright eyes burning like fire, bright eyes, how can you close and fail? How can the light that burns so brightly suddenly burn so pale? Bright eyes. Is it a kind of shadow reaching into the night, wandering over the hills unseen, or is it a dream? There's a high wind in the trees, a cold sound in the air, and nobody ever knows when you go, and where do you start? Oh, into the dark.
So many treasured memories there, and she certainly had the most beautiful smile. I would now like to invite Annalisa to come up, please.
Thank you, Stephen and Katrina, for inviting me just to share the Lord's, the Lord is my shepherd, Psalm 23 with you today. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yes, though I may walk through the valley of shadows, I will fear no evil. For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. We send our love to you, Tricia, and you will be forever in our hearts. Thank you.
Thank you, Annalisa. Well, friends and family, ladies and gentlemen, today you've paid such warm and affectionate tributes to this kind and loving lady. You've honoured and celebrated Patricia Smith, your Tricia, your mum, your nana, and great nana, your family member, and your very dear friend. You've honoured her with words and music and photographs, and today we must commit her from earth to earth, as the saying goes. But all the things that you've spoken of her today, all the memories that you have of her, all the things you loved about her, they don't go with her, they go with you. Tricia loved you, and love never dies. I would like to thank you all so much for coming here today and making a beautiful service as a farewell to Tricia. I would like to thank everybody for watching online. Thank you for joining us, and we hope that this service has brought you comfort. I would like to thank the family for allowing me the honour to lead this service for them and for Tricia. Thank you. At the conclusion of this service, the family will be moving over to the function centre here, and they'd like you to know that you are very warmly welcome to all join them there for some light refreshments, for some time, and to share some memories with them together. Thank you so much. We will now conclude the service, Patricia, by playing for you and for her the final song. Thank you very much.
Amazing grace, oh how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining